Hi, good morning or evening, wherever you're watching from. Thanks for joining us. This is Jodene, and today I'm going to be sharing with you a quick and easy stenciled card featuring the new Rosette stencil and die bundle from PinkFresh Studio. I'm going to be creating this card on Vicky Bouton mixed media paper, and I actually have a lot of offcuts of this already cut smaller, so I'm just rearranging my stencil to make use of that, so I'm not wasting that card. I try to do this as much as possible, and since I'm going to die cut these out anyway, they don't have to be in a particular place. So I'm going to be using Distress inks today, as well as the new PinkFresh Studio mini ink blending brushes. I love these brushes because they're so soft, and the bristles are nice and short, so it puts a nice even pressure when you're stenciling. And I'm going to be using a couple of different colours on each rosette today to sort of create a mixed ombre sort of look. So I'll be using a light and dark of two different colours. This first one is a green and blue. Now you could use Distress inks, you could use PinkFresh Studio inks, Catherine Poole, or whatever you have that you like to blend with. Oxides would also work really nicely. But I just find these minis to be really handy. And the colours of these are quite vibrant. So if you do want a softer look, then the oxides would probably be perfect. Now the great thing about these stencils is there are only two, so it is really quick and easy to create these cards. And would be even quicker if you're just using one colour as well. But I'm going to be making 4 rosettes today, so I'll stencil all of 3 of these and then an extra one as well. Now the good thing about the Distress inks is there are a couple of colours that will always match each other really nicely, a light and a dark shade. But of course if you use something like Ultra New inks, they have really great sets where you'll get 4 different shades of the same colour. So they'd be perfect for this as well. And I've just got these little brushes and I'm just using one for each kind of colour family. Not particularly one for every colour like I would with my normal blending brushes or blending tools. And this final one I'm just doing with purple and blue. And then I'll come in with the second stencil and I will do my other layers for these rosettes. And now that I've finished those, I will do the circles for the center, and I'm going to do the same kind of thing with my circles. I'm going to use the 2 darker colors and do the circles half and half as well, so they will all tie in together. And then I'm just die cutting those and I'll start putting them together, but first I'm just going to use my little piercer tool to pop out all of the little holes in the rosettes. And I just love the 3D look that the 2 different stencils give by using a darker and lighter shade, but of course they would look really pretty just in one shade as well. So once I've done that, I will just use some foam tape to put the centers in, and I will also use some foam tape under the rosettes as well when I come to attach them to the card. And for my background on my card today, I'm going to use the Spellbinders Geo Screen embossing folder, which I'm embossing onto white card, and I'll attach that to a light blue card base, like an aqua colour, to tie in with one of my rosettes. Of course, any of the colours I've used for the rosettes would be really nice as my base card colour. And I'm just using some double-sided foam sheets here, and I've just cut that to size, and then I'll attach that to the front of my card. The card is a US A2, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I've cut my panel down to 4 by 5 1/4. So that just gives me a nice little border there. And before I attach those to my card front, I'm just going to give them a spray with a little bit of shimmer spritz. And this is just the clear sparkle one, but it will add a really nice bit of interest to the front of my card there. And of course you could always do some glossy accents in the centres, or replace the centres with some embellishments or pearls or something like that, and that would look really, really good as well. And then I'm just going to do a sentiment to go onto the front of my card. And I'm going to use the Basic Banners Celebrate stamp set. That's a brand new one from PinkFresh Studio, and it has a coordinating die. It cuts all the sentiments in one go, and then also cuts the die in one go. So it's really handy. It's got lots of different shapes of sentiments and kind of tag banners, and it gives you lots to use for next time as well. So I'm just going to pop that into my MISTI and stamp that. I'm actually going to stamp it onto black card, which you'll see in a moment. But first I'm going to prep that stamp by rubbing it with my powder tool. And I always do this when I get a new stamp, because it takes that stickiness off a brand new stamp so that the ink doesn't bead and you get a nice impression first time. I'll also add a bit of powder to my black card, and I'm going to ink that up with some Versamark ink, which is just a clear sticky embossing ink. There's a few different ones. We also have a Wow clear embossing ink, which is the same. And I'm just going to stamp that and then emboss that with some white embossing powder. And today I'm using the Wow Detail White Embossing Powder. I always like to use a detail embossing powder, whether it's the Wow or the Ranger, because I find for sentiments it does give you a really nice, crisp embossed image, which I think is important, especially when you're doing white on black, because you want that white ink to be really nice and crisp. So I'll just heat that, and you know that that's heated properly when it's all nice and white and shiny. And then I'm going to take the coordinating die and just cut all those sentiments out. And then I'll just choose which one I want to use for my project today, and I've got heaps left for future cards as well. And I think that because these rosettes kind of look like party decorations to me, I'm going to go with a birthday theme or a party theme for this card. But lots of these sentiments are really great for any sort of celebratory events. They're not specifically all for birthdays, but I've chosen Get Ready to Party today, and I've just attached that with some double-sided foam tape. And to finish off my card, I'm going to add some sequins. These ones are sparkling clear confetti. And I'm going to use my 2-in-1 jewel picker and craft pick from PinkFresh Studio to pick up my little embellishments. It has a little wax tip on it, and you get 2 spare wax tips as well in the box with this tool. And it's a really nice polished gold. It's so pretty as well. Who doesn't love pretty craft tools, right? Surely I'm not alone there. And I'm just going to use some clear glue to attach those sequins to the front of my card. And that will complete my project for today. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial and that it's given you some inspiration or some ideas for your own projects. And be sure to like and subscribe. And also, if you do have any comments, please leave them below. We love your feedback and we'd love to know what you'd love to see. Have a great day, and thanks for joining us.